Maybe it was, maybe it was the eclipse. I don't know, but I would think one of the strongest meditations of my life today. It was so powerful. The class this afternoon. So, I don't know. I mean, I had to lie down for an hour afterwards just to absorb the intensity of the meditation. So I'm telling you all this to, prepare yourself. We might have the same kind of class this evening. I don't know. I don't know from class to class what's going to happen. But I must say, it was just staggering today. So we'll have a meditation class, and then if anyone has questions afterwards, please, everyone, try and sit still, get focused. You should prepare yourself, before the class. Don't be moving around. It's like I'm talking to the wall sometimes, So please try and get focused, get still, and do the meditation, please. And we'll have a class. I've unmuted everyone. Does anyone have a question you would like to ask?
Stuart, I always thought of opening the heart as kind of like opening like a cup or something. I've been experiencing like a merging of energies in the heart. Could you talk about the merging of energies in the heart?
Well, there's two gratitudes, and that's what merges energies. And one is the gratitude you have for the life that you live, and the other one is the gratitude for higher energy, coming down and making it possible for you to keep the heart open and really to love unconditionally both God and in this world. And there's a marriage of those two energies that takes place in the heart. Emergence of spirit with love, compassion on a human level. I mean, that's really the key to all of it, is that union that's made possible because we develop a system inside that's strong enough to do it. I mean, the energy in the cosmos, the energy of spirit, it's always there. And if you even look around you, everything in this universe is energy. And, when we develop a system inside that can be grateful to God and grateful for our life on the earth, it's an incredible marriage that takes place between each and every one of us and God or higher energy in the universe. And the energy comes from a higher source. The energy comes through Shakti in the meditation classes. The energy comes from every single person that you interact with. Every animal, every insect, everything is a manifestation of God's energy. And whether or not we can, relate to all of this manifestation just depends upon how deeply we're open inside. How strong the heart chakra is. Because the heart chakra, I shouldn't say it's the key, but it's the heart chakra that allows us to communicate on the highest possible level on the earth. And of course, as I always say, the heart chakra can stay open because we have built a foundation upon which it can rest. And that's the hara, the chakra below the navel. All of this allows the higher force and our humanity to merge in the heart, the chakra below the navel, in the third eye, in the sexual area. It's all about union and marriage. In fact, even yoga, I think, means union. And it's all about the marriage of the higher with us living on the highest possible level we can live as human beings. That allows these energies to merge, to unify. And even in Tibetan Buddhism, so many of these statues you see are what they call yabyum. And it's the union of the masculine and feminine. You see Rinpoches or Mahasiddhas with their female consorts, gods, all the gods have female consorts. You have the Kinis, you have, all forms of manifestation of higher energy have a consort, something which enables it to merge and to be whole. And we are no different. We have to be whole. And that really is bringing together the male, female inside us. Emergence in the sexual area, in the heart, chakra below the navel, all of that, is essential if human beings and to grow and have a spiritual life. And it also stops all this judgment and all this macho, feminist, all this stuff that goes on where people hate each other because they're men or women. And not realizing every one of us is both masculine and feminine. We all have male, female energy inside us. And when we unify that energy, we stop fighting with other people. God is love. And if we can sustain an open heart, the Shakti, the love, the energy we experience that comes from God, unifies with our humanity in the heart. And what emerges is compassion, love, happiness, joy, forgiveness, the highest possible ways of human beings living on the earth. Does anyone else have a question? Ask questions. I just have an announcement. I am thinking seriously of doing a retreat at that Stony Point, I think it's called, in New York. But I'd like to know if people are interested in doing it. I don't want to just go reserve a space and then nobody shows up. Well, don't raise your hand, just email me, okay? That you're interested. And if enough people sign up, I'll get in touch with them, to do a retreat there for my birthday, which would be sometime around the 10th of August. So if this is of interest to you, it'll be, like the retreats I used to, who knows what it's going to be. I have changed so much in the last year that I have no idea what's going to happen at one of these retreats. So much has changed. The level of energy and teaching has gone to such a different level that I have no idea. But I'd like to do it. I'd like to come out of hibernation here, without having to travel to Europe or Brazil or Mexico or, West Coast. And if people are interested in attending, just, please email me. It's the same thing, the living there is very inexpensive. I like $125 a day or something, which would include 3 meals. And it's very reasonable, that place. And the people are very nice there. They serve farm to table food and the place is very nice. So if you're interested in coming, let me know. And then if I get enough people that sign up, and I think some people were going to come to the last one I was going to do that was canceled. And I think you made a deposit, and that deposit is still good. I don't even know who did, but just tell me you did, okay? I trust you. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask?
Stuart, is that the place near Big Indian?
No.
No, okay.
Oh, it's near Nyack, New York. It's, it's just across the Hudson River from where I used to live in Croton.
Okay.
So it's not far. It's like a half hour from Manhattan or something. It's further from where you live, but from Manhattan.
Okay.
And it's a very nice place, and nice grounds. They have a beautiful meditation hall. But I don't know if it's taken, available, but I'm not going to make any commitments until I get, people signing up.
For how many days are you planning to?
It'll be Friday night, Saturday night, from Friday night, Saturday, and then Sunday until 7 o'clock class.
So sleep over there. I can sleep there.
Friday night and Saturday night, you sleep over. And a lot of people stay Sunday night as well. I think they charge another $60 or something to stay Sunday. I mean, these are very nice people and very well-run place. Okay, does anyone else have a question? I always tell people, those weekends are very intense for me. So I ask people to make the $300 donation, which is my personal donation for the weekend, and that's how I run every retreat, for those of you who have never attended one.
Stuart, Rudy talks a lot about trust. Just what keeps coming up is to ask you to just speak a bit to trust.
Look, without trust, nothing works. And, you got to be able to trust that life, as I always say, life is your teacher. And if you don't trust what life is teaching you, you'll never learn anything. If you don't trust what your partner is and who the partner is and what they do with their life, you understand the relationship is not going to work. Trust is essential. Trust, it's one of the things I left it out, forgiveness, trust, happiness, compassion. I mean, these are the highest levels of what it means to be human. And we need to learn how to do this. We have to learn how to trust. Because without trust, we live a very cynical life. We play the role of God, we play the role of, the judge and the jury, and we are judging everything. But with trust, we allow things, we become vulnerable for life to teach us. I mean, I have to trust every one of you. Although I must say, sometimes I get some bullshit. And then I even have to trust that. I'm not saying you all that. I have to trust that, which is teaching me something. Not about even the other person, but about myself. So it's a very important element in the growth of a human being, learning how to trust. I mean, I had to learn how to trust Rudy. You understand? I mean, I spent my whole youth angry at the world. And all of a sudden, this person is in my life. And it took amazing change inside myself just to be able to trust what he was giving me, not to rebel against it, not to fight with him. And when it finally took place, it took maybe 6 months, 8 months, a year, my whole inner life changed. And it made it possible for me to truly receive his teachings in a profound way. So trust is really one of the keys to any kind of inner work, to just learning how to live as a human being on the highest levels here. You have to be able to trust life, that life itself is this incredible teacher. And if we don't trust it, we don't learn anything. We know better. Part of my problem when I was a kid is I knew better than everybody. And it created so much conflict. I finally, the only way I graduated from college is I finally gave that up. I didn't know better than my teachers. I suddenly began to realize that these people are just human beings, living their lives. And I began to keep my mouth shut and listen to them and trust them and to understand I wasn't there to know better than them. I was there to learn whatever they had to teach so I could finish a cycle in my life. And as soon as that happened, it was like a miracle. I mean, I even graduated with honors. The teachers told me any college you go to, we will, for a master's degree, we will write you a glowing letter. And I didn't like school very much. And I graduated that way. And I only graduated because I began to trust life and stopped listening to stupid Stuart, who knew better than everybody. I mean, it was really funny, because in order to graduate from the college, I went to the new school, and it was kind of an avant-garde college at the time, To graduate, you had to write a thesis. And then it was like a doctoral thing. You were interviewed for 3 hours by 2 teachers. So I sat down and I wrote a thesis on the Om sound. I don't know, 60, 100 pages or something on the Om sound. I handed it in, they read it, I met with these teachers. And it was so interesting. They asked me one question. And from that point on, we sat and we had a 3-hour discussion about life. It almost brought a tear to my eye. They were so interested in finding out about the things that I knew and I had studied. They never even interrogated me. It just became a discussion. And after it was over with, they said, any college you want to go to, we'll write you a letter. We will recommend you. And I was probably one of the worst students in that school, because up until the last 8 months of being there, I used to fight with all the teachers. I knew better than them. And then I said, no, Stuart, you got to stop this. Trust that they're here to help you finish a cycle in your life. Respect their humanity. Respect them as human beings. And that's what Rudy sent me to college to learn. He really did. He knew that. I needed to learn that. And the whole dynamic changed. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? Okay, well, God bless you all. Thank you. And these classes are like a miracle, and I'm very grateful to be part of them, to be doing what I'm doing, and very grateful to all of you for being here, for participating in this, and having a need to learn this really wonderful and magical teaching that Rudy left us. So God bless you all, and hopefully I'll see everybody on Sunday. Thank you.
Thank you, Stuart.
Stuart.
Good night.
Right.
Good night.
Thank you, Stuart.
You.
Welcome.